Good afternoon to you all. I hope that you're feeling blessed and highly favored on today. Sure is truly checking in once again, man, and we're gonna do it a little different today. I ain't really had time to go ahead and get suited and booted. I actually gotta head out in a little second, man, handle some business, and then also get me a little workout in the day, you dig. But definitely new content coming at you soon. We're gonna try to pick up the pace as far as with that. But getting right into things, we got a full slew of topics to speak on today. People been wanting me to speak on this, so I'm gonna go ahead and give my opinion and my thoughts on it, you dig. And so first and foremost, we're gonna start off with Boosie and Gabrielle Union. If you are familiar, this has kind of been ongoing with Boosie speaking on Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, and I think his name was Zaire, and they changed it to Zaya. Lord, Zaya Wade, and Boosie, he's very comedic, a hood comedic, and he was on I believe a Vlad episode when he was like, please don't cut his thing off, please don't do him like that, don't cut his thing off, and he's just been very outspoken about it. But recently, Gabrielle Union, she did an interview where she mentioned Boosie and kind of dissed him. And actually, let's take a look at it so you can kind of see for yourself what I am referring to.
Zaya has been something that I think has been groundbreaking in so many ways, and inspirational, and it's saving lives.
When we started trying to figure out as a family how we were going to move, right? And it started with, okay, she's come out to us, she's in the 3rd grade. We have to make sure that this home is a sanctuary and that no one is allowed in that would disrupt her peace. I was like, yeah, I think if you give people a chance, they might surprise you. But we also had to be real clear with our friends and family and people that work with us that if you have any kind of bigotry, discriminatory thoughts, oppressive, unhealed bullshit, you can't bring it to this house. And she was like, I want my name. I want them to say my name. I want them to say my correct pronouns. I want them to respect me. She was so happy. She was so happy. Because at her school and in our circle and our sanctuary, everyone knew her name and respected her pronouns and respected her. Her peace, her sanctity, like all of it, her thriving. We're here for all of it. But the rest of the world felt like it was some kind of spur of the moment thing, not something that had been building since the 3rd grade. And we thought that we were protecting her. And she was like, if anyone in this room actually knows Zaya, she comes for your neck. She reads us for filth often. And she would say things like, well, is that really for me, or is that to protect you guys? And you're like, ooh, okay. I think it's to protect us. And so we had to figure out, like, in trying to control the narrative, you're kind of controlling your kid and calling it protection and calling that good parenting. Or you can allow your children to exist as they are, and you create a sanctuary, and you give them access to community, you give them access to resources, you try to educate folks as much as possible, but you let them live. You trust that you've done a great job. So far, so good, Sorry, Boosie. He's so preoccupied.
Yeah, he is, very
It's
much
almost
so.
like thou doth protest too much, little Booze.
I'm gonna look.
You got a lot of dick on your mind.
I mean, it's
Throw
like
that out there.
It's like Zaya and Lil Nas X live in his head.
For free, rent free.
Like what?
It's like, sir, something you want to just go ahead and tell us. This is a safe space. We can be your sanctuary.
Perhaps that safe space was not provided for him, and
I don't
that's
think he
why
had a safe
He did
space.
not have one. We could definitely tell.
All right, and so as far as with that, you clearly hear us saying, you know, Boosie got a lot of dick on his mind, you know, and this is female 101, you know, to kind of try to take something and, you know, try to twist it and play you with it, you know. And Boosie and his responses, of course, he's not the most articulate man in the world, and so he wasn't really able to combat a woman coming to him like that, you know. So he had to just take it to a nigga level.
You won't play with a ghetto hero manhood and say, I got that on my mind. See, the world's scared to say it. The world's scared, and I wouldn't go say it until you want to say that I it's on my mind. The whole world, everywhere I go, I'm gonna tell you, they might be smiling in your face, boo-boo, but when they leave, get what they say. Boosie, you ain't lying. Boosie, you ain't lying, boy. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. When you go to church, when they go to church, get what the preacher say. Boosie ain't lying. Leave me alone. I'm going through some things. You wanna go viral. I'm trying to have fun with my little girl at the thing. You wanna go viral right before Christmas. Drop a video saying, I got on my mind. Hey. I'm trying to have a happy holidays, and my nieces and nephews texting me a video with you talking about I got on my mind. It's on my mind.
You know, to where he's tried his best to be obnoxious and rude, you know, and well, you use that strap on D Wade and woo woo woo. How dare you come at a hood legend? This, that, and the third, you know. But the correct response, so on today, I want to go ahead and help Brother Boosie out. You know, what he should have said was, no, it's not the fact that I have penis on my mind as a heterosexual man. It's the fact that I have bad parenting on my mind. It's the fact that I see the exploitation of a young black male on display that's corrupting my mind. The fact that you all are parading your son around and trying to make him the face of homosexuality while still a child rather, is what's on my mind, because you're actually calling abnormal normal. Since when in the black community have children who don't pay any bills, who aren't even of an adolescent mind yet, when have they became intelligent enough to make forever decisions? Even in America, well, as Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade clearly see, as far as attempting to change a name or change a sexuality on paper, you still need a parent's consent, correct? So this lets me know that you are complicit in these abominable acts. What happens if this child in his later years, because we see this often, to where he feels he made a mistake, to where he has rethought his decisions. He wants to know what vagina feels like instead of actually having a vagina. You know, What happens when if his male instincts ever kick back in and he's set free from these demonic spirits? What happens? You know. Secondly, it's a thing of where did this come from? You know, as far as with this demonic spirit, like where did he even get this at such a young age to be as flamboyant and outspoken with this behavior as he is? And how do you guys come on one accord to actually promote this behavior in this youth? You know, this is almost the equivalent of if a child said he wanted to be a gangster. You know, well, if he's as a parent, because according to D Wade, it's not your place to be a leader in your child's life, to actually guide them and navigate them, and to say no and yes. It's not your job to do that. It's your job to assist your child in the direction that he wants to go in. This is foolishness, because again, going back to the example, if a child wants to be a gangster, do you equip him with a gun? Do you equip him with all of the capabilities of actually being a gangster? Do you teach him how to be rude to people? Do you teach him how to rob? Do you teach him how to steal? Do you teach him how to kill? At this young age. Now, in the black community, we are notorious. You're gonna toughen the child up. You're gonna make sure he can fight good. This, that, and the third. You're gonna make sure folks can't play with him like that. But are you going to? Rarely do you see a family equipping the child with the tools necessary in order to go out here and be a menace to society, because that's what the child said he wanted to be. Let me say it a different way. If this child wanted to be a wrestler, like, are you just gonna go full-fledged into this, let him lift weights at the age of 6 and 7 years old, when this can have potential consequences on his growing ability? And one thing about children, they change pathways so much. Really, it's a exploration stage, if you will. So the fact that they're just saying that anything a child wants to do, for one, we've dealt with where did this come from. That's a big question that I have. Secondly, why are you complicit in these abominable actions, and why is he so comfortable? And why are you, thirdly, trying to make him the face of homosexuality, and why you're gaining a profit off of it? So all of these things are just alarming, and it's not something that we see in the black community. And so that's what Boosie was, in my opinion, trying to say. But oftentimes with these women, they just jump on there and why are you so worried about what he's doing? You're making us worried about it. How will we even know that your son is doing all this if y'all wasn't parading him around like this, making a mockery out of him? Man, this is disgraceful. But that's my opinion on it. Boosie, get your language up, man. Get your ability to speak up. So if you're gonna consider yourself one of the faces of the black community, you must be able to speak better than this, man. Because with this one little act, Gabrielle Union got you all out of bounds, all out of pocket, man. Instead of just dancing around there. She's not even big like that, man. You could have danced around there, verbally spanked her, and got back to doing your thing, man, and still corrected her. Because the truth of the matter is, the way you responded to her, she taught you the alley-oop to go ahead, correct, and bash this behavior throughout the black community, and to expose why it's so demonic and why it's so evil, but you failed to do that. You took the nigga route and just put that dildo in Dwayne's hat. Like, it is what it is, man. But that is my take on Boosie and Gabrielle. Next, Lori Harvey and the non-disclosure. So recently it came out that Lori Harvey, and she's always been one of the smarter cookies, if you ask me, as far as women goes. But she's definitely been, trained up in the right capacity. She knows she hot right now, and she's actually taking the liberty of putting non-disclosure on you niggas. As opposed to men that are popping, you know, it's taking a change. It's as opposed to when men have been popping and they've actually been wanting to pass out non-disclosures and take phones away from women and this, that, and the third. It's now vice versa in an age where, you know, men is snitching, clout chasing just like the women do, you know. And this woman being a brand, you know, she has taken the liberty to say that you must sign a non-disclosure if you're gonna rock with her, if you're gonna participate in any activities with her, you know, any personal activities rather than you must sign a non-disclosure agreement to where it could actually be detrimental to you or cost you something if you're gonna speak on the relationship that you all had with each other, you know. And I think this is a smart idea, man. We're gonna start to see more and more of this, you know, with all this snitching going on and men trying to, you know, get their clout up by speaking on who they done slept with and this, that, and the third, all this type of goofy stuff. You know, we're just gonna see a change in that, because women they get into the money right now. It's set up for them to get to the money. As far as in this social media age, man, if you got ass and titties, girl, you won't. You know what I mean? Point blank period, you won't right now. So it's like, and if you do obtain a bit of stardom, then you know, especially one to the likes of a Lori Harvey, to where you're a mainstream celebrity, so to speak, then yeah, it only behooves you to go ahead and sign a non-disclosure, because, you know, women, unlike men, you know, they trying to hold on to what they got. You know, men, it's inherent in them to go ahead and pass that paper on out. And if you're a certain type of individual, it's inherent in that woman. They're going to go ahead and break bread and, you know, give you what's yours, you know what I mean? But, you know, that's a different story for a different day. Right now, we're just focusing on these good, square women and, you know, how these men is responding and reacting to them. And so I'm definitely not mad at Lori Harvey for that. And I think this trend is certainly going to continue with more and more women who are popular or who have what they consider a brand to protect. Women who are in the millions, you know, instead of just having their brand or their name tarnished by some little dusty individual or some little man. Because, you know, women, they gonna throw that booty out there, you know. They definitely gonna throw that thing. So it's just like, as opposed to just letting this man blow up off of their name, you know, and just speak on and put all the details into a book and really get right. Nah, son, you gotta go ahead and sign this non-disclosure, you feel me? And so you know, I ain't hating on Lori for that, man. You know, I got some things to tell Lori Harvey with her little fine ass, you know what I mean? So I got some things to tell her. You did. She look like she needs some she look like she need a man in her life. You did. I just leave it there. But yeah, that's my take on it, man. And definitely look for this to continue amongst women, popping women at that. Now, thirdly, we got T.I. on the menu, and T.I. recently, and well, instead of me expounding on it, before I expound on it, rather, let me go ahead and let you hear what Clifford Harris had to say.
Going through the court process, and so we caught no gun cases, two died, and you know, my lawyer said, well, you know, I can make everything go away if it was Tramel's. After he had passed, I had a talk with him.
What to say?
Say, I take all the charges you got. If you can walk away free and put it on me, goddamn right.
So is that what boys give about because you put it on?
Nah, hell no.
Okay.
Nah. Don't nobody even know about that. I just volunteered. Don't nobody even know about that. I'm just being honest. Yeah. That's the only time that I done never said or gave no information about nobody, because that's my cousin, my big cousin. He was dead, and he told me that it was okay.
All right, and as far as with that, a few things, you know, it definitely shows some favoritism, you know, because obviously, if you are familiar with the story of Terrence Gangster Williams, or Birdman's brother, then you'll know that once he actually got out of jail, he was open about telling on the dead, and everybody tried to disown him, tried to call him a rat, you know, tried to just label him. You lost all credibility. You know, everything you done in the streets is erased because you done did this, that, and the third. You done told on dead people. this came out of Boosie mouth. He basically revoked all this man credentials, street credentials, and real nigga credentials. He just revoked it all. And here he is on Vlad TV saying that he's doing a joint album with T.I. Now, is he going to revoke this album with T.I.? Is he going to renounce him? Is he going to denounce Clifford Harris and say that, no, you told on your dead cousin, son, I'm not with that. Telling is telling across the board. That you trading everything you done did if you tell on the dead. Why is this amount of favoritism being showed? Black people love doing that. All we ask for is consistency across the board, man. I ask for consistency, because it's not right. You can't just call this man a snitch because he told on his dead partners, gave the people something so he could get up out of jail after serving 25 years. And then T.I. come along and say, well, my lawyer said that if I tell on my dead cousin, then I talked to him after he died, and he told me it was okay for me to go ahead and tell on him and get these charges up off me. Come on, man. Our people is so crazy. We just pick and choose, and we just pick the ignorance. And it's all right as long as there's some money to be made with each other. That's why certain black people just need to be quiet, man. Because you're not consistent. You're not real like that. You're real when it's beneficial to you. You know what I mean? You real when you getting a pat on the back. You know what I mean? This, that, and the third of what your little mind comprehends as real. But typically, especially with somebody with celebrity status, it's gonna be predicated based off of some money. These people rarely have morals. And that's not to say that Boosie done told nobody or nothing like that, but if you still condoning it, hip hop as a whole is still condoning it. I ain't heard nobody come out and get on T.I. bumper about saying this foolishness. The same way that they did Terrence Gangsta Williams. And even beyond that, T.I. he done made commercials promoting snitching, and then anybody who has ever dealt with the feds know that the only way that you're getting out of certain situations is if you have information to give them. They definitely don't want or need your money. And so, regardless of the lawyer that he had, it would be a situation similar to what Young Thug is going through, what Hood Rich Pablo Juan is going through. He was one of the first to actually go through something like this, even though it wasn't a RICO or a conspiracy charge. He was caught red-handed, buying guns from undercover agents. And a year in jail is served. Where they passing these deals out at? It is what it is, man. But it's definitely some favoritism being shown. Shout out to the tipster, and shout out to Terrence Gangsta Williams as well, man. Both y'all brothers keep doing y'all thing, but that's my take on the situation. All right, and lastly, Tekashi going by a new name, man. Tekashi, y'all may know is 6ix9ine. He's now been given the name by myself of Tekashi TrickNine. And one thing about these tricks, they gonna stick together, man, because DJ Academics, that's his partner. That's his ace-bone cone right there. Tekashi and DJ Act. What I'm saying? They got each other back like chiropractic. Yeah, you dig. But DJ Academics recently came out with a video, bigging up his partner, talking about how all these women is cheating on real niggas. Everybody who living their street life, your woman cheating. She rocking with Tekashi. He basically saying all the women that's of value in his mind now, because everybody value is different, but everyone who's popping on the scene in New York right now, according to DJ Academics, all of them have boyfriends, and all of them are disrespecting their boyfriends to be exploited by 6ix9ine. Now, a few things. Tekashi TrickNine he's having the time of his life, or so it appears, you know, because several videos back, you know, that's why you got to really listen to what people are saying. You know, academics came out and said that Tekashi was somewhat going through a state of depression. You know, he had, you know, had to talk, despite him having all this money, this, that, and the third. He knows he's not taken serious. He has to live with that. The fact that he, you know, that he's gonna forever be synonymous with being a rat, but just, or even tearing down or taking down, because that's what he, as a man, he said that he stood for. You know, prior to all these situations, he stood on, that was what he identified with, being a big blood, you know, being a gangster. That he used to test my gangster. Test my gangster. If you think I'm soft, test my gangster. If I'm rainbow hair, test my gangster. That used to be his biggest thing. You know, that was his whole persona as far as running around with Shotty. So he loved the respect that was given to him. The fact that he was able to look soft and actually be soft. But he had this backing of real people to where he could basically talk, tell everybody to suck his penis. You know what I mean? Do whatever he want to do. And still be able to move how he wanted to move, you know. But now this isn't the case, and in my opinion, this is why he's taking so much time off in an attempt to recreate himself. But one thing that he knows that he has going good for himself is that in this particular time period, respect can somewhat be bought. You know, not even somewhat, it can be bought. You know, because men, we just had it's just all time Mr. Softy, man. Like, the majority of men, they not men, in my opinion. There's a whole lot of male stuff going on as of right now. And they typically gonna rock with who the women rocking with. If you having women and you having a bag, women typically gonna go with a bag going. And especially with these women nowadays, because as DJ Academics alluded to, typically all of the ones that are mainly popping, they have a price. You can buy them. You know what I mean? You can buy them there, and you'll see women in videos, even if they got a boyfriend, kissing on Tekashi, letting a rat lick them all in the nose and stuff like that, you know, and smack them all on the butt cheeks. But he's definitely compensating them for it, though. So I ain't even mad at these women, you feel me? Because you see a trick, hey, go ahead, take your lick, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, break on this buster, you dig? And so when I see this, I'm actually proud of these women. You know, I'm not sure if they pitching it back to, you know what I mean, if they respecting the game how they supposed to, and pitching it back to these husbands or to these boyfriends or whoever, you know. And really, they don't even deserve it, you know, if they do got these boyfriends, and it's just tricking on tricking, you feel me? So that's why she disrespecting you, going over here doing this. From what I'm hearing, these boyfriends wanting to try to kill Tekashi, you dig, because he basically doing more tricking. If you see this video here, you know, he bought everybody Birkins,
as he gave away $264K worth of Birkin bags. Tekashi 6ix9ine has always had no problem in giving away cash, and this time around, the Brooklyn rapper returned home with gifts. 6ix9ine went to Privé Porter, where he racked up $264K worth of Birkin bags.
This is a 300 clip, 300,000 just on Birkins. Pop out, look, are you dumb? 450, 500, 550, 600, 650, 13 Birkins. Stop playing with me. This is not Chanel, man.
264,000.
King of New York is back. King returning back home. $1 million cash on the fly-in. I got $500,000. I spent what y'all rappers make y'all whole career on bags, and I'm giving them shits away.
So who was lucky enough to get those Birkin bags? Well, Tekashi 6ix9ine said that he bought one bag for every little who runs his city.
Charlie, where's Charlie?
Now, what type of foolishness is this? You know what I mean? You popping, but you spent $250,000 in Birkins? Just a clown. Like, it just let you know that, and deep down, because Tekashi's no fool. He knows that all this love is fake. He know these women don't like him. You know, he knows it's nothing magnetic or charismatic about me. If I didn't have this money, I would be treated like a literal goofy by these folks. You know what I mean? I would be treated like a literal goofy, but the fact that I actually have ice, I got some money still, you know. I have the ability to go ahead and purchase bags for everybody. And if you pay close attention to the video, you'll see that, man, half the women in there wasn't even grateful. They still sunning little bro. Why mine wasn't yellow? They complaining and getting this expensive bag. And he had, well, you know, I didn't know this, that, and the third. He got soft real quick. You see the acting cut on and cut off real quick. And he got in the Trick's place very, very fast. You know, that wasn't the color you wanted. Pardon me. You know, just a big old trick, man. But you know, in y'all opinion, is this something that you would aspire to be? How would you feel as far as that? You know, do you think that he's in fact having the time of his life? You know, spending all his money on women who don't care nothing about him, and you know, but in a sick way. In my opinion, he probably is. You know, the fact that he's able to stay relevant. You know, I think he kind of used that as a band-aid. You know, I could still have all y'all women. You know, even if I gotta fly them out, spend millions of dollars on them shoes, I can still have y'all women. You know, now you done switched over from being the biggest blood, the biggest gangster, to the biggest trick. You know, that's his new persona now. You know, the biggest trick. And, you know, you can't hate on Tekashi for that, man. Go ahead, do your thing. You feel me? He's slowly starting to try to come back and diss on people and whatnot now. But, you know, that's a different story for a different day. He'll probably never get taken serious in that regard, because majority of individuals, they just not going to respond to him. And in my opinion, the only person he's truly the man to is busters. You know, aspiring tricks, such as a DJ Academics, who definitely wants to get more money so that he can be on the level of Tekashi TrickNine. Because if you listen to him, you know, I could tell you, you know, I'm not on that yet. I'm not when I fly you out, I can't take you to the best hotels. You know, you might get you a Holiday Inn or something like that. You know, I'm tricking, but I ain't on that level. You know, and yeah, man, I could go on and on about this doctrine of tricking that goes on amongst these individuals in the mainstream media who ain't never really had no women like that, who don't have a naturally charismatic and magnetic personality. You know, you'll see these type of behaviors and they big each other up. You know, like, oh my God, he an elite trick. Oh my goodness, he throwing money. You know what I mean? He got the Jordan jump shot. How he throwing money at the shawty? You know what I'm saying? He got that Roger Clemens. He throwing that cash at shawty. You know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is. You know, but to me, you know, these men, it is what it is. You know, shout out to Tekashi TrickNine. You know, that's his new moniker, and he definitely, you know, he's living up to that. He's living up to that very, very well. And shout out to all the women that's breaking on him. And sure, let me come across one of y'all shawties, man, because I need that. You feel me? If y'all gonna be breaking on little 6ix9ine like that, and, you know, just kind of using this whole thing, if they're gonna be blowing y'all women up and having y'all popping and popular, and all these rappers want to fuck on you, you know what I mean? Because you know you breaking. If you breaking on him, sure, they breaking on the next one too. So they on to something a little bit. You feel me? They on to something. And yeah, I'm trying to be on something too. You dig? So yeah, I'm gonna have to start looking at some of these faces next time I see these bags getting passed out and whatnot, man, and really see what's going on with some of these women. You dig? Because, you know, right now these tricks passing that paper out left and right, baby. You know, I need some of that. You dig? But yeah, that's my take on it, man. We ain't gonna spend too much time talking about this trick, but yeah, that's the episode for today. You know, I definitely hope that you've enjoyed your time with me. You dig? I do got some business to attend to as of right now. Gotta go ahead and jump on out here, make some things happen on this good Saturday morning. But you know, until next time, certainly everyone be blessed.